Good evening, Jared.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
Very good, thank you.
Good, good, good.
Can you tell our viewers today who CTI is and what is your role at CTI?
Yes, thank you very much. CTI is a 37-year-old international non-government organization or nonprofit that provides post-harvest tools for primarily women farmers in developing countries. Our programs specifically are in Senegal and Malawi. We are growing to Tanzania as we speak. So this organization has been dedicated to the impact of smallholder farmers in Africa at this current point, and we're expanding in other regions in Africa. My name's Jared Brewington. I'm the executive committee. I'm one of the board of directors, and I chair our fund development committee. Very happy for this evening. Very happy for the turnout and all of the things that these wonderful human beings brought to the table in way of their charitable donations and in the way of their presence tonight.
Okay, can you tell our viewers a little bit how this idea was born? What was the impetus at the beginning that created this in Minnesota to help people across the Atlantic over there? Yes.
Well, almost 38 years ago, some General Mills engineers were in India and they discovered some things that they saw with the farmers, potato farmers specifically, that they were losing a lot of their crop to rot. I mean, they have a large harvest, but they don't have the mechanics or tools to create other things other than just the whole potatoes. So at that point, they developed a pedal-powered bicycle that was actually shredding or peeling the potatoes. Then they developed an air rack dehydration system so they could sell those potatoes and dehydrate them and make chips from them. So they created a local micro-enterprise from finding ways to elongate their harvest that they would have usually lost to rot. So that's the start of CTI, and then when the engineers started to identify greater concerns with smallholder farmers, they developed the CTI grinder, which is really the cornerstone of our technology. The grinder has gone through many iterations, and at this point is at its most efficient iteration, and with that, it complements our grain processing system that we've been using in Senegal with pearl millet, the winnower, thresher, and stripper system. Then with the extra yield from the efficiency of the system, they're able to farm more. They're able to, like I said, increase their yields, but it's truly an economic security impact, because that increased yield includes increased sales, which means less time out there farming, more time in school for the young girls that are usually assisting their mothers or aunts with the work. And when we've asked the wonderful people on the farms, what do you do with this extra time? The answer is unequivocally, farm more. So what we're creating is an additional economic stream for them in their villages.
And how are you retailing this? Are the people buying it directly from you guys, or do you guys have retail stores in Senegal, for example, or in Malawi?
Yes, we have put together partnerships for micro enterprises within the country. We want to be a model for distribution and for supply chain. Instead of manufacturers ourselves. We want the components to be in country. We want any repairs to be with our stakeholders and partners in Senegal and in Malawi. So we're making a sustainable technology solution that they're able to manage within themselves in the village. So villagers combine their money to use it, and then it becomes a crop share harvest mechanics, or they buy it themselves. But we found that at the most part it becomes a village complementary tool where they're sharing time with it. But the one thing that is true is that the impact is there, and that the yields are there, and the time that they're committing to it is absolutely reduced.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is great work.
Yeah, thank you, brother. For the board, for the farmers, specifically for the farmers. But thank you all. I think you all should toast each other for the wonderful thing you've done tonight. This was very exciting. It was very action-packed, and I really appreciate you coming. And as a representative of CTI, of the board and the staff, I thank you all. You can collect your winnings for your silent auction this evening. I would like you all to drive safe. I would like to thank you and implore you all, more than anything tonight, love one another, please. Love one another. That's the most important thing here. That's why we're here. We're here because of our love for
Hello, Vernon. Welcome to Tempo Africa TV. We just wanted to ask you a few questions in regards to the event tonight.
Yes.
First of all, how did you get involved with CTI?
Well, indirectly through a colleague that was asked to grow African crops, sorghums, millets, ground nuts, finger millet, teff. But in September he said, I'm going on sabbatical. Could you help CTI? And so then I worked with them to harvest the crops. And then later in January they had asked me to come to a meeting, and at the end of the meeting they said, we need somebody to work on a groundnut sheller. And so I spent 3 months working on a groundnut sheller.
And can you tell us what is your role at CTI? What do you do for CTI?
I'm a volunteer. My African colleagues call me an agronomist engineer because I spent 47 years at the University of Minnesota as an agronomist, but I have an interest in engineering and I understand farm machinery, and so I thought I had some ideas that we could try to develop.
And for our viewers that are not very familiar with CTI, can you tell us what CTI does exactly?
CTI is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to developing what is called post-harvest technologies to improve the quality of life for small farmers, particularly in Africa, but applicable to all areas of the world where the farm size is typically 2 hectares or less. And most of the work has been done on harvesting machinery, grinders, and there has been some work on fortified foods. But the focus at the present time is primarily on the threshing, on the grinding, and helping women reduce the drudgery in harvesting and food preparation.
And Vern, have you been to Africa before?
I've had the opportunity to go to Tanzania and Malawi 5 times since I started with CTI, and mostly working with the groundnut equipment.
So you've seen how your work helps those families over there?
Oh yes, both how it helps and their evaluation helps us make improvements. So it's a two-way street. It's not just one way.
Thank you so very much, Vern, for the information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Yes. Hello, Grace.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Can you tell our viewers who you are exactly?
Yes, my name is Grace Mobose Nwesi, and I'm the president of MIND, Minnesota Institute for Nigerian Development here in Minnesota.
Can you tell us a little bit what MIND does here?
Okay, MIND is an umbrella organization that gathers all Nigerians that live in the state of Minnesota, and our goal is to have a way where all of us can gather and discuss issues that pertain to our community as well as the Minnesota community in which we live in.
Exactly. And you're the current president of MIND, you said?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How big is the MIND organization here in the Twin Cities?
Because it's the umbrella organization, it consists of so many ethnic groups, but MIND is the umbrella organization that covers all Nigerian organizations.
And what are the activities that you guys take care of here in the Twin Cities as an umbrella organization?
As an umbrella organization, we make sure that we provide passport activity for our communities. We celebrate our yearly Independence Day, which is one of our best showcase, when we can gather all our people together to remember our forefathers that fought for independence.
Anything for our viewers today, Grace?
Yes, I think we are here today. Actually, I'm representing, we're supporting the Senegalese brothers because we belong to a larger group called WAC, West African Collaboratives. And Senegal and Nigeria are part of that group. So today we're supporting one of our own as part of WAC.
Thank you very much, Grace.
Thank you.
And Angela, what do you do? I just want to get that. That's okay. I got it. Okay. Hello, Angela.
Thank you. Hello.
Can you say hello to our viewers?
Hello, hello.
And what are you you're here today to support CTI?
Yes, I came to support CTI with my sister.
And how was the event overall?
It's very great.
Okay. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
Why did you come here today for supporting CTI?
Well, I came here on behalf of WAC, West African Collaborative. I'm from Sierra Leone, West Africa.
And can you tell our viewers who WAC is and what WAC does?
Well, WAC is a group of people from the West African region.
And Rebecca is from Sierra Leone, and you guys have your event coming this
Saturday. We're going to be at 800 Bone Avenue in Golden Valley. It's our 57th independence celebration of Sierra Leone. And it's going to be special because we just have a new president. And so it's going to be fun.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Hello, Hadi.
Hello, I'm Mr. Alin Sam.
Hadi Aidara is the president of the Senegalese Association of Minnesota, and she's an ambassador of CTI. Hadi, can you tell us a little bit about CTI?
Okay, thank you very much, Tempo Afrique, for having me. First of all, I'm going to tell you how I met CTI. I just came across a friend who told me that there are people who are helping Senegalese women here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I'm like, oh, let me just go and check it out, what they're doing. So when I went to they have like a shop where they just do like the pre-assembly before making the real machine. So I went to visit, but I was just blown away by the job they are doing. First of all, women in Senegal, they used to just pound the millet first, pound it to just take the chaff from take the chaff out of the grain, and then separate the grain from the chaff, and then went back again and just ground it to make a flour out of the millet. So when I saw that a machine doing it while women are doing it by hand, I'm like, hey, I just gotta go and just help these people, help out my people. So I just became an ambassador with CTI, and this year is like the 2018 Pollinator Gala, and then they always hold it in Minneapolis Event Center. And what is great is like I've been myself in Senegal and saw the woman before and after. Before, meaning when they were pounding the millet, I even make a try. I am from Senegal, I know how it goes, but I never really did it by myself. But they just put me in to just feel it myself again, how to pound it. Yeah. So when the machine came, usually they get up at 6 a.m. I can say 4 a.m. in the morning to just do it, and because they have to have the couscous ready by the evening. So it's a lot of work. But with the thresher, the American call it thresher, this thresher is doing the job that the woman was doing from 4 a.m. to 12 o'clock at midday. So this machine itself, I could say, this machine itself is first pounding the millet, separating the chaff and the grain, and grinding it. So women, the only thing they need to do is just take the millet and go to the machine and have their flour. And they even have another machine they call the grinder, who's making peanut butter, who can grind the flour, who can do like what we call cracked millet. It can just do the assembly for those women to create what we call ngurba. And it's very healthy. Usually people, they don't like to cook it because it takes a lot to do it, or it's more expensive to go buy the cracked millet at the store. So with these machines, it's having a lot of impact. It's having a lot of impact. First of all, time-wise, it's helping women to have more time for themselves, taking care of the household, taking care of the children, and taking care of themselves. And secondly, the children can go to school, mostly girls, because mostly girls was held at home so they can help their mom, you know, do the chores daily. But now, because their mom have more time, they are going to school. And how about that Gurban? In Senegal, everybody knows Gurban, how healthy it is. So it will improve the children's health. So just with 2 machines, it's having a big impact in a whole community. It's why I just came to help CTI.
And from what we gathered tonight, it seems like CTI assembles these machines over there, which is creating jobs over there in Senegal.
Yes. What they do, they order the parts abroad and then just send them all to Senegal. In Senegal, they have shops that's managed by Senegalese locals, you know, and they are doing the assembly in Senegal. And wherever those machines are needed, they just ship it over there by donkey, by horses, by car, by boat, depending, and they can reach as far as the Salum Islands. They are going everywhere right now. So,
can you tell our viewers a little bit about the affordability of these machines?
Yes, right. Before they were just, it's very affordable. It's very, very affordable. $500, meaning 250 mil, you know, is not much because we're spending a lot of things like that we really don't need on things that we don't even use. And this you are creating growth in a whole country, of a whole country.
Are they helping people finance this project, or how does it work in overall?
Right now we're in a stage where they donate. They choose a village who really in need, and mostly villages who are growing peanuts and the regions who are growing millet. Those are the targets right now. They're gonna sell it, but they are in a process because USAID jumped in. They jumped in because they view that was what the Senegalese people needed. It's not those missions that are costing $2 million francs. You know, that's not those. What they need now is just something small that woman can, and then everything is mechanical. It's just like by hand. Your woman, they do sport doing that. They all gather together, just have fun, and just having their millet grinded. So that's all what we need. So I really appreciate the work that CTI is doing.
Well, Hadi, thank you very much for your time today.
Okay, thank you.